We were not put on this planet to work for 60 years and then die. Like, I refuse to buy into that.
I'm only 2 years into working my 9-to-5 job, and this is awful.
I'm done. I'm out. I'm leaving the rat race.
Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the job market again because everybody has probably seen the news that the US government has overestimated the amount of jobs that have been added to the economy over the past year, because 818,000 jobs is just a little bit over, right? Basically a rounding error. Who cares? Unemployment has jumped from 3.5 to 4.3% in the past year at the same time. And if you are applying for jobs, which are almost exclusively all online now, the increase in scam postings or ghost jobs have exploded all across the internet. The rising disparity of wealth between CEOs and the employees, and people are just tired of the rat race. So we have a lot to talk about. I have some clips along with some comments from you guys from previous videos. Leave your comments down below and I'll use them for future episodes. So I think we're going to start off with the recent Indeed scams because it has just been exploding. I mean, there's so many people who have been looking for jobs. The competition is unreal right now. Scammers are definitely taking advantage of it.
I found out something scary for people who's looking for jobs. What's happening is people are stealing your information on your resume, like your phone number and email, and they say that you applied there and that they would love to set up a Zoom interview. They always text you or email you that. But the thing is, I never applied there. I even tried to search on my emails or on Indeed, you could see what jobs you applied to, but I never applied to this company that's saying that I applied there. This was an ongoing cycle. Like every week or so, I would get 1 or 2 text messages about, hey, thanks for applying. We would love to set up a Zoom interview with you with our manager. When I look at their website, it's always similar. They're always talking about marketing and sales, and they're gonna mentor you, make sure that you become really successful, and then they work with really big companies and brands. And on their social media page, it looks like they're not even working at all. It looks like they're always traveling, playing games, having fun, which seems too good to be true.
So I've seen stories similar to this that go in a ton of different ways. Either they're just strictly trying to take your information because everybody wants your data now. They're selling it all over, so there's better ad rates. You end up getting more spam calls and all this kind of crap to just try to make you consume even more. I've seen stories similar to this where the company doesn't look like they really exist, or they're just having fun, almost like a lifestyle influencer, and that's what a lot of MLMs will try to make it seem like that's what happens at their company when they're just trying to recruit you for another multi-level marketing scheme. And we've already went down that rabbit hole in previous videos. I've also seen it get so crazy that some of these jobs try to get as much information as possible, even trying to get your social security. I mean, completely trying to get your identity with the amount of information they're trying to extract from you because of how desperate people are to finally find a job. But like she said, she was just getting random calls from companies that she didn't even apply for. So that means whatever listing she initially wanted either sold the information to somebody else, or that job listing was basically just a shell to get them into that whole very odd scenario where the company doesn't really look like they actually work. It's just a complete mess right now. I've only been seeing more and more experiences as time goes on. We have a comment from one of you guys in my previous videos. Having a bachelor's degree and student loans feels weird that I have a better chance to stay afloat if I applied to In-N-Out. Because say even if you do try to go online and it isn't a ghost job or isn't trying to scam you or extract data from you, the amount of competition you have for job listings now, I don't even know what you really have to do, because it's not just like a volume, let me apply to 100 jobs. There are countless videos of people applying to hundreds, if not thousands of jobs in their fields, and they'll get an interview or two and won't even get like a second round. We've also talked about insane demands from some of these companies in a previous video, how it would just be round after round of interviews, hours worth of your life. And I mean like 4 to 5 hours of all of these different calls you have to be on, different rounds of these interviews just to be able to be a cog in their machine. So if you're one of the few people that have a very desired skill in your line of work, one of the best things to do right now, especially with the economy and all the previous inflation and all the prices of everything going up, is job hopping, because people are just not really getting raises. And if they are, it's not keeping up with the price of living. The best way to increase your yearly salary is to go to another company that will value your time more.
I remember one time I'm at work. I'm going hard, getting a lot of shit done. And one of my coworkers pulled me to the side. He said, "Hey, bro, if you was to croak over and die right now, how long do you think this company would take to put up an application for your position?" And I'm like, maybe like 3-4 days, maybe a week. He said, "No, I've been a manager before. Sometimes it goes up same day." I said, damn. These companies don't give a fuck about you. That's why I'm in full support of job hopping.
So especially in today's world, which is an employer market, this is one of the few things you could actually use to your advantage. And of course, that means there are tons of these HR type of people that will get very mad at you actually having an advantage right now, and will start making videos online like this.
I don't care what your excuse, nobody likes job hoppers. If you only work at jobs and companies for a year, year and a half, maybe 2 years, and your resume looks like you have hopped from position to position to position, you are severely limiting the opportunities for yourself. And also, you are barely scratching the surface of learning and figuring out positions if you're only there for a year. I don't want to hear it. I know you all are going to jump in the comments and tell me that people don't give raises and you have to move on to organizations in order to get a raise, blah, 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 blah. Listen, job hoppers are in some deep level of denial, and I've heard it all before. But here's the thing. If you're a job hopper, the common denominator is you. You are choosing to move on from organizations. You are the one choosing to leave after 1 or 2 years. And put yourself in a hiring manager's shoes. Why would they pay to onboard you and train you and invest in you if they know you're just going to leave in a year or year and a half? Especially if your competition has some longevity on their resume. Think about it.
So before we actually get into it, we'll look at the comments on this video. Spoken like a hiring manager from a real toxic company getting 2.5-star employee reviews. Keep it up, girl. So at least in my opinion, this looks like the type of person who would take their job position as their entire being, their whole personality. So they like that position of power, being able to hire people. And anybody who has some advantage and really sought after skill, they'll get mad that another company will be willing to pay more money for that employee instead of just staying and being a cog in the machine. Because of job hopping, I improved my mental health. Loyalty was rewarded in boomer times, rarely today. Don't listen to her, people. Do what's best for you. It's just a job, and most people get that. But again, these types of people take it as a personal attack because their job is their entire life. But we'll go back to what she actually said. People who legitimately job hop are somebody who have desired skills that other companies would pay more money than their current job that they're at. It's not like they're switching jobs every 6 months or a year and getting paid less. And then when she's saying it's severely limiting your opportunities, if anything, it's doing the exact opposite. It is opening your horizons and being able to work for companies that could pay you more for your time instead of just being stuck at a job and getting incremental raises every year and honestly barely making any more because of the cost of living, but barely scratching the surface of learning and figuring out positions. I mean, a lot of places have caps for the amount of money that somebody can make in a certain position, even if they're there for 20 years. So if you do have that desired skill and somebody else is offering to pay you more money for that exact job, why would you ever stay at your current employment? This is just somebody who seems like they're very mad at a lot of people doing that nowadays. And I mean, this isn't specifically for somebody with a very sought after skill. This is for anybody working a normal 9 to 5 now, because it just seems more and more that the disparity between normal employees and the higher ups in companies are just getting absolutely insane. So if you can make a little bit more money doing the same job at another company, why wouldn't you? We have a screenshot from a clip that I used in a previous video. The highest paying companies in the Magnificent Seven. I mean, the most expensive, Meta, almost $400,000 for the median employee. However, the CEO still makes almost 25 million, 64 times more, 28, 128 times, 250 times, 671 times more than the median employee at Apple. And it only seems to be getting worse because there's another clip that I used of a woman going on Zoom disparaging all of her employees to get them to keep grinding and make another $25 million for the company they work for, while they're just trying to ask if they're going to get a bonus this this year. And she like freaks out and gets super angry that they just asked the question. And at the same time, this CEO ended up getting a $4 million bonus during that same time period when everybody was just asking the question to see if they could get a bonus to be able to pay their bills this year. This isn't something that's just happening in the US right now. You could see on the other side of the planet in Japan, drinking with clients or coworkers is a mark of company loyalty and considered part of the job. If you really wanted to deep dive into this, look up some documentaries or just normal YouTube videos from corporate 9-to-5 people in Japan. You think it's difficult to work in that kind of company in the US? In Japan, it basically becomes their entire life. It's not a normal 9-to-5. You have to hang out with all of your coworkers way after you're supposed to clock out and then get up early and do the exact same thing every day. It is brutal. And that's why there have been an increasing amount of men in Japan unaliving themselves because there's no way to get out of the rat race. They are stuck like this forever. And we're not even talking 40, 50-hour work weeks, way more. And I feel like everybody knows what the rat race is, but there was a little clip that I saw on TikTok that I thought was pretty good. Wake up at 6 o'clock, working 8 hours a day during, the normal commute with everybody else, 2 weeks of vacation, and then you got to go back and pay the bills. And the cycle continues over and over again until hopefully you're lucky enough to retire at 70. At least in my generation, that doesn't really look too good. It looks like a lot of people are going to be working until they hit the ground. And because of that, people are just losing it. They're giving up on it. People are turning to different avenues of income, which that turns into a lot of social media, which is still a double-edged sword, but we'll take a look at this clip and see what she has to say.
I'm only 2 years into working my 9-to-5 job, and this is awful. So you're telling me I'm having the Sunday scaries every week to dread 5 days of my life, to then be rewarded with a little thrill on Friday, but then be so tired from working that I pass out at like 10 p.m. Live for Saturdays, love them, but really that is only one full day of fun, because Sunday, have a great Sunday morning, and then Sunday afternoon rolls around and I have the Sunday scaries and I'm dreading my life for the next 5 days. I went to college for 4 years to be stuck in this cycle. What? No, 2 years is enough. So I'm on TikTok and I will be promoting products and posting my way out of this god-awful cycle. I cannot settle for a life of dread, especially if they want us to retire at 70 now. No, I'm going to be using the internet because I see people making a fuck ton of money on here, and you can be making a fuck ton of money by creating digital products, selling those, and then promoting products that you didn't even make. So yeah, that's my plan. That's what I'm going to be doing to get me out of this god-awful cycle, because I cannot take another second of it.
Okay, so I got a few things to say about it, because she wants to take the route the same as the social media influencers that I feel like I've talked about in every video over the past like week or two. I don't know. I guess it's just been related to almost every topic that I've done. But that is a double-edged sword. Yes, you can make a lot of money online sitting on your phone and computer making content. However, that could become a lot more people becoming the walking billboards for these companies. And I mean, I get it. It's a lot easier to say, hey, I'm sponsored by this product, buy this product, than working an 8-hour shift. I've already talked about my issues with brand deals. And I mean, I do also want to reiterate that I don't think it is a particular bad thing. I think it could become bad. Like we've seen some of the brand deals on YouTube being scams, not actually what they were promoting to be. And then other social media presences just spamming sponsorships nonstop. Their entire being becomes promotion. It's not just a little 30-second or 60-second sponsorship within their normal videos. It becomes post after post of, I'm using this product, I'm sponsored by these people, you should buy this or use my affiliate link. Just making your audience consume more and more. And a lot of the times it's something where the creator doesn't even use the product. At least in my opinion, if I want to be sponsored by something, it's much better to either be an active user of the product or have it be related to the content that you use. For example, like I've said in previous videos, I've been using VPNs for years now. And of course, there's a million people on YouTube that are always sponsored by NordVPN and all of those other companies, but I do legitimately use it. I mean, maybe another example example because a lot of my videos are finance related. I know a lot of other YouTubers are sponsored by Rocket Money, which I believe is a budgeting app, which could be good for viewers that watch these particular niches. Now, I do have to say, I'm not actually sponsored by Rocket Money. I guess I have to say that now, talking about any product at all. At least they're related. It's not like I'm just telling you to buy a $600 oversized black hoodie with just a link in the description, which has no relation to anybody following my channel. And that's a legitimate example of one of the influencer videos that I've made in the past. And I know that was a pretty big tangent, but I know that's kind of a double-edged sword with a lot more people making money online now. They're just going to be non-stop ads for these larger companies paying them. At least have it be related to the content that you make. That's all I'm asking. We have another comment from one of you guys. I was let go from a job in December 2023 and didn't find a job till May of 2024. It's crazy the job economy has gotten this bad. And any job video that I've ever seen that has talked about the labor market not being the greatest, everybody's answer is, oh, get into the trades, become an electrician, plumber, all of that. And I don't disagree with it. However, this video, I think, does explain a couple more points that it might not be for everybody. And it's not just an instant six-figure salary.
So there's a lot of points to be made about this take. For one, I am in the trades. Having a degree does not disqualify you from being a tradesman. A lot of the trades also are requiring some form of degree or certification to get into the higher level end of it. Does this mean you need to go to college to get into trades? Absolutely not. Most places are hiring right off the street. But if you want to get into the high ends of trades, you either need a shit ton of experience or a degree to get you in the door. The next point, if everybody gets into trades, then trade jobs are going to pay less. Not to mention, people with disabilities typically can't get into the trades. Jobs in the trades are pretty typically strenuous and physically taxing. If you have problems with your back, problems with your legs, problems with your arms, bad neck, bad knees. Trades are just unrealistic for a lot of people in this country.
Okay, so there are a few good points there. Of course, you don't need a full 4-year degree to get into the trades. You do need certificates if you want to start making good money, but you still need to learn the skill first. However, the same thing where, oh, all of these corporate 9-to-5 jobs, they're having a lot of issues right now. Just get into trades and then you'll be completely fine. So say if everybody actually did that, it's just supply and demand. If there were a massive influx of tradesmen, you could start lowballing people because there are so many people trying to look for work. It's the same thing that happened with corporate jobs previously. It was supposed to be the really good job, the normal 9-to-5. You don't have to be out in the sun. You can make 6 figures and you can kind of just chill out hitting buttons on a keyboard. And now because everybody wanted to do it, there was such an influx that now everybody could start getting lowballed. And the only people that get hired are like the top 0.1% in all applications, and how difficult it is even to get interview processes and all of that crap. So the same thing could happen if everybody did go into the trades. Now, the other thing is something that I relate to heavily, and that is the actual physical labor of trades. I don't know about you, but my body is cooked. I am only 27 years old. Playing soccer my entire life did a number on my body, my joints, my back. I mean, I'm pretty sure you could hear that. That's my wrist. So imagine hearing that on your wrists, your elbows, my shoulders, my knees. I'm done. I'm an old man in a young person's body. So it's not even the difficulty of learning the skill to be an electrician, a plumber, any of that. I think having to lay down on tile to try to fix somebody's sink or toilet, I have more problems with that than actually doing the trade itself. And whether you like it or not, everybody is now just sitting all the time, whether it be watching TV or on their phone or at work, and we're all hunched over with our phones in our hands or our iPads or whatever, and all of our backs are all bad now, and we get up and our knees hurt. A lot more people have problems with their bodies right now than they did a couple generations ago. And I know that's a negative thing with all the social media and the tech, but it's just the truth now. So there's a lot of people who genuinely can't do trades because their bodies can't handle it. It's not just because, oh, I don't want to do manual labor and all of that. Now, this screenshot is somewhat related. I wanted to put in the video just because a lot of people's goals now are six-figure jobs. They want to make $100,000 a year. However, if you make $100,000 a year pre-tax, you are not going to be getting $100K. So this is a screenshot of the salary needed to net $100,000 in every single state. So you could pause and check wherever you live in the country. But even the cheapest, Wyoming, at $137,000 to net $100,000. That is 30% more you need to make. That's how much is being taken out for taxes. And of course, Oregon, more than 50% you have to make just to be able to get that $8,300 a month, or maybe $8,200 a month for that $100K a year, $156,000. So along with people not being able to get a job, getting scammed on Indeed, ghost jobs, all of that, and if they do get a job, you need to make significantly more than $100,000 just to be able to net it, to feel comfortable in today's world, because the cost of living is exploding. So some people are just done with it. They don't want to do it anymore. They are tired of it, and they want to see what else they could do in the world.
Am I the only one who wants to just quit my job, maybe buy a minivan or buy an old car, and just hop in the car and just simply travel and just see the world, man? Like, am I the only one who simply just wants to see life and experience life and not be caught up in this rat race for the rest of my life? You know, we pay bills, we pay taxes, and we work hard, and we bust our behinds for these jobs, but it's like, is that it? We just work, pay bills, pay taxes, work, pay bills, pay taxes, sit in traffic. Is that it? Is this all there is to life? I can't be the only one who sits back and wonders sometimes, like, this is not, like, this can't be real life. Like, it's no way. We were sold a lie. The American dream is a lie. It is no way it should be this difficult to survive in the land of the free and the home of the brave. This is incredible to me. I don't understand. So sometimes I think, man, I just want to quit, hop in the car or hop in the minivan or something, and just travel. Like, I mean, life is going to pass us by anyway.
And I don't think it was the exact reason that he was saying in this video, but a lot of people did end up doing that during COVID. People were buying vans and big SUVs and just going and traveling for long periods of time. And now I know mostly it was because you weren't allowed to go on vacations and everybody had to wear a mask and all of that kind of crap for a couple years. So it wasn't just because they were tired of the job and the rat race, but still, he does make a pretty good point, especially with one of the comments from my older videos. When I graduated last year, I've been offered low ball pay from everybody, and then they don't even want to consider internship as experience. So you're supposed to do everything right and go to college and even get an internship while you're working at least part-time, if not full-time, to be able to pay for all the expenses to go to actual college now. And then on top of it, all the tuition, getting yourself into tons of debt. And then you need to get an internship to try to get ahead of all the other people that are also going to be applying after they graduate. And some companies don't even count that as experience. They want somebody who's been in the business for 10, 15 years, but they don't want to pay him for 10, 15 years of very good experience. They want to lowball them as well.
I'm done. I'm out. I'm leaving the rat race. It's time to be a producer instead of a consumer. You work 40, 50 hours a week, and at the end, you still have no fucking money. I'm not going to be a slave to this system for my entire life. Hell no. You got me fucked up. Our kids only have so many years being kids. And I'm not going to miss that to be broke. To me, family is the absolute most important thing in life. And I'm missing all of it because I'm fucking working. When I'm done working, I'm still fucking broke. We know the system was designed to be this way. Public school systems were designed to make you obedient workers. They didn't teach you how to plant crops. They didn't teach you how to raise chickens and raise livestock to eat. They didn't teach you any of that shit. They taught you how to shut up and sit down and do as you're told. Well, I'm fucking over it. and I'm out.
Now, one thing he said I think is a very good point is when he said he was done because he didn't want to pass life by, especially with his kids growing up. Now, a lot of the older generation will do the whole, pull yourself up by the bootstraps and just keep working and working because that's what you're supposed to do, especially men. But then people are surprised that there are so many of my generation, even like the generation above me, that don't have great relationships with their parents or especially their father, because a majority of the time he's sitting in the corporate office or a tradesman, a construction worker, breaking his back to be able to put food on the table. And at least back then, it was primarily just the male working. So yeah, he did have to take the responsibility of the entire family, but that's not how it works anymore. Now, both parents need to work and have a full-time living, and then they need to get a nanny or a daycare to be able to take care of the kids. And then the children growing up will be estranged from both of the parents now because they've been sitting in a cubicle or an office building or wherever they work for a good portion of their waking life, just trying to be able to afford everyday life. And this guy doesn't want to have it. He'd rather do his own thing and be able to see his kids and grow up with them and have a stronger bond than most people. So I mean, it is sad because that's just the way the world works now, especially in the US. But I do want to end this on a positive note and a little bit of a motivational post, I guess, but it does have some really solid points.
75 years. That's how much time you get if you're lucky. 75 years, 75 winters, 75 springtimes, 75 summers, and 75 autumns. When you look at it like that, it's not a lot of time, is it? Don't waste them. Get your head out of the rat race and forget about the superficial things that preoccupy your existence and get back to what's important now. Right now, this very second. And I'm not saying drop everything and let the world come to a grinding halt. I'm saying that you can become a seeker. You can be loving more. You can be taking some chances. You can be living more. You can be spending more time with your family. You can be getting in touch with the part of you that lives instead of fears, the part of you that loves instead of hates.
So let me know what you guys think about this video in the comments down below. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on screen right now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll talk to you guys later.